Hello, it's Sonia here with a Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today we are going to be doing another 18-inch doll project. We're going to be making a top, and to do this I am using my G hook, or I believe it's 4.25 millimeter hook. This is a very old G hook because it doesn't have the millimeters on here. And I am using this blue yarn, and I believe I would consider this like a decate weight yarn. I've already made a sample top, which you will see in the beginning photos, the green one, and that was made with decate weight yarn, and that is paint box decate weight. This yarn, I have no idea. It's slightly thinner weight than the paint box decate weight, but it's not a lot thinner. And I'm trying to use it up. I used this to make the Cinderella dress, and this is what I have left, so I thought, you know, let's make a top out of it. I think it'll be pretty, and this is like a summer top, so this will fit most 18-inch dolls like American Girl. There's ones called My Life, Australian Girl dolls, there's Canadian Girl dolls, there's a whole bunch of different 18-inch dolls. So to get started, we are going to chain 10, and this top is actually worked in rows. Okay, so we have 10 chains. And then in our second bump from our hook, this is row 1, we're going to work a single crochet. And we're going to work 6 single crochet. So this is stitch 1. Okay, so we have 6 stitches, so we are going to work 3 more stitches. So our next stitch is going to be a half double crochet, and then the last 2 stitches are going to be double crochet, and again working in that back bump of the chain. So at the end of row 1 here, we have 9 stitches there. So let's begin row 2. So row 2, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to just single crochet all the way across. So we will have 9 stitches. So that last stitch looked a little wonky there. There we go. All right, so there is row 2. So row 3, we are going to start increasing a little bit. So we're going to be adding some stitches. So to do that, we're going to chain 2. And then in that back bump of the chain, we're going to work a single crochet. And then we're going to continue across our chain, and we're going to single crochet until we get to our last 3 stitches. And this is the odd row, so this is row 3, and the odd row is going to be the right side of our work. Okay, so now we're at our last 3 stitches. We're going to half double crochet, and then double crochet in the last 2. And at the end of row 3 here, we're going to have 10 stitches. So let's begin row 4. So row 4 is an even row, chaining 1 and turning, and all of the even rows will be single crochet rows. So we're just going to single crochet across, and we'll have 10 single crochet. Okay, there we go. We have our 10 single crochet. So let's begin row 5 here. We're going to chain 2 again. This is going to be a repeat of row 3. So we're chaining 2. We're going to single crochet in that back bump, that second back bump of from our hook. And we're going to continue to single crochet across until we get to our last 3 stitches. And then we will work their half double crochet and then the double crochet in the last 2 stitches. And then row 6, we're just going to single crochet across. You're going to chain 1 and turn, and then single crochet across. So I'm going to go do that, and I will meet you back at the end of row 6. Okay, so I have completed row 6. So we can start to see if you're a little confused on the construction. So this part where we have the double crochet and the half double crochet, that's going to be the bottom of the top. And then we're working towards the top. So this is actually the side here. So it'll start to make a little more sense as we keep going. And it's actually made in one piece. And then we just have a seam here, and then we'll have to seam the shoulders, and then you stitch around the armholes and around the front of the top. So pretty easy construction here. Okay, so now row 7, we are going to chain 12. Okay, so I have 12 chains. So now I'm going to single crochet in that back bump of the chain in the second chain, and we're going to single crochet across this chain. So that's going to be 11 single crochet, and then we will continue our row back onto the main part of the top. Okay, so I've worked those 11 single crochet. So now we're going to continue on the main part of the top, and we're just going to continue to single crochet across until we get to our last 3 stitches, and then we will work that half double crochet and then the 2 double crochet in the last 2 stitches. So, and then for row 8, you're just going to single crochet across your row. Okay, so I finished up row 8. So what we want to do, I wasn't super clear. We single crocheted across, but you are not going to work in that last stitch. So you're just going to have 21 stitches. So you're going to leave that last stitch unworked there. So now we are going to work row 9. So we're going to chain 1, turn our work. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to skip that first stitch here. And we're going to jump into the next one, and we're going to single crochet. And we're just going to continue to single crochet across until we get to our last 3 stitches, and work the end of the row like we've been doing with the half double crochet and the 2 double crochets. So we're going to have one last stitch. We're going to have 20 stitches for row 9. And then row 10 is actually going to be a repeat of row 8. So you're going to single crochet across, but you're not going to work that last stitch. So row 9 right here is we're having 20 stitches, and then row 10 you're going to have 19 stitches. So I'm going to go do that, and I will meet you back. Okay, so here is row 10 completed, so you can kind of see what we're doing here. And we have 19 stitches, so we did not work in that last single crochet. So row 11 is going to be a repeat of row 9. We're going to chain 1, turn our work. We're going to skip that first single crochet. We're not going to work in there, and we're going to jump right to the next one. And we're going to single crochet across, and then again in the last 3 stitches is the half double crochet and the 2 double crochet. And you will have a total of 18 stitches. And then row 12 is a repeat of row 10. You're going to do the single crochet row, but you're not going to work in that last stitch, and you will have 17 stitches. So we are doing some decreasing, and there's different ways of decreasing. We are choosing to decrease by not actually working in the stitch. Sometimes you work an actual decrease stitch or together stitch, but we're not doing that. So, or it's a different way of shaping your project, and that's what we're doing. So I'm going to go do that, and I will meet you back. Okay, so here we go. We finished row 12. So again, the top is actually going to be this way. So we're working, this is part of the shoulder here. And let's work row 13. We're going to be repeating row 9. So again, chain 1 and turn. skip that first stitch and single crochet in the next. And we are going to have 16 stitches for this row, and then row 14 is that single crochet row, but you're not going to work in that last stitch, so then you will have 15 stitches at the end of row 14. So I'm going to do that, and again, don't forget to work your half double crochet and then your 2 double crochets. So I finished row 14. We have 15 single crochet. So let's begin row 15. So we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and we're repeating row 9 again, where we're skipping that first single crochet and single crocheting in the next, and we're just going to continue to single crochet across, and then those last 3 stitches, again, work that half double crochet and those 2 double crochet, and you will have 14 stitches. And then row 16, you're going to chain 1 and turn, and you're going to single crochet until you have 13 single crochet. So you're going to leave that last stitch unworked there. So I'm going to keep going, and I'll meet you back at the end of row 16. Okay, so we have worked row 16. I have 13 stitches. So here we go. This is the first half of the front of our top here. So now we're going to start working on the second half. So row 17, we're going to chain 2. And now we are going to start increasing again. So we're going to single crochet in that back bump in that second chain from our hook. And now we are going to continue on our row, and we're going to single crochet across, and then, as we've been doing, work that half double crochet and the 2 double crochet in those last 3 stitches to finish up the row. And then we'll begin row 18. So I'm going to keep going here, and then of course you want to work that half double crochet, double crochet, double crochet. All right, so we finished row 17. I have 14 stitches. So row 18, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and it's still going to be a single crochet row, but we are going to be increasing for this row. So what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet across until we get to our last 2 stitches. So I'm just going to single crochet across until I have 2 stitches left, and then I will show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so I have 2 stitches left. Actually, no, I have 3 left, so we need to work in the next one. Sorry about that. Now I have 2 stitches left. So we have 2 stitches left. So in that second to the last stitch, we are going to work 2 single crochet in that stitch. And then we're going to work a single crochet in that last stitch. And so for row 16, I'm sorry, not row 16, row 18. I'm not even sure where 16 came from, but okay. And my hook popped out of there. Let's get back in there. Okay, so for row 18, we will have 15 stitches. So row 19, we're going to repeat row 17. So we're going to chain 2. We're going to single crochet in that second chain from our hook, and then we're going to continue across our row, and we're going to single crochet across. And then we get to our last 3 stitches, and we will work that half double crochet and that 2 double crochet. So the end of row 19 here, we're going to have 16 stitches. Okay, so there's row 19. We have 16 stitches. So row 20 is a repeat of row 18. So we're going to chain 1, turn our work. We're going to single crochet across until we get to those last 2 stitches, and that second to the last stitch, you're going to pop in 2 single crochet in that stitch, and then you're going to single crochet, put 1 single crochet in that last stitch. So at the end of row 20 here, we're going to have 17 single crochet, so we are increasing again. Okay, so there we go. We finished up row 20 here. So rows 21 through 25, we're going to be repeating rows 17 and 18. So row 17 was a chain 2, single crochet in the second chain from our hook, and then single crochet across until you get to the last 3. You work half double crochet, 2 double crochet. Then a row 18 row, so that's all even rows, you're going to single crochet across to your last 2 stitches, and then work 2 single crochet in the second to the last stitch, and then single crochet in that last stitch. So all of the odd rows are going to be the row 17 where you chain 2 and work on that second chain, and then all the even rows are repeating row 18. So you're going to end on row 25, and I will meet you back at the end of row 25. So when you get to the end of row 25, you should have 22 stitches. Okay, so I finished row 25. So here is the front here, and we're going to keep going. So row 26, we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and we are going to work 11 single crochet. So we're almost done the front of this guy, so it works up pretty quickly. So you're going to work 11 single crochet, and you're going to leave the rest of your stitches not worked. Okay, so there we go. There's row 26. We have 11 single crochet, and we're not going to finish stitching here. So now we are going to work row 27. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. We're going to single crochet across, and then in our last 3 stitches we're going to continue working in pattern, the half double crochet and the 2 double crochet. Alright, so there we go. There is row 27. So row 28, we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and we're going to single crochet across, but we're only going to work 10 stitches. So you're going to leave that last stitch unworked, and then row 29 is a repeat of row 27. You're going to single crochet across until you get to your last 3 stitches and work that half double crochet and 2 double crochet. So I'll meet you back at the end of row 29. Okay, so there's row 29, so you can see how we're looking here. So rows 30 and 31, we're going to be repeating rows 28 and 29. So row 30, you're going to work 9 single crochet. You're going to leave that last one unworked, and then row 31, you're going to single crochet and then work in pattern of the half double crochet and 2 double crochet. So I'll meet you back. Okay, so we finished up row 31. So rows 32 through 34, we're just going to work in pattern. So all of the even rows, which is row 32 and 34, you're going to single crochet across. In the odd row, which will be 33, you're going to work your single crochet and then in pattern work the half double crochet and the 2 double crochet. So I will meet you back at the end of row 34. So now we're going to be working on the other side of our top. Okay, so we finished row 34. So row 35, we're going to start to increase again. So we are going to chain 2, and then in that second chain from our hook, working again in that back bump, we're going to single crochet, and then we're going to continue to single crochet across until we get to those last 3 stitches. So you work in pattern of your half double crochet and 2 double crochet. I know, I'm sorry, I'm super redundant with that. And then row 36, we are going to single crochet across. So you're going to have 10 stitches now. So we are increasing again. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll meet you back at the end of row 36. Alright, so we finished row 36. So we have 10 stitches. Rows 37 and 38 is going to be a repeat of rows 35 and 36. So you're going to chain 2 and single crochet in that back bump, and then single crochet across, and then work your half double crochet, 2 double crochet, and then row 38, you're going to just single crochet across. So you're going to have 11 stitches. So I'll meet you back at the end of row 38. Alright, so we finished row 38, so we have 11 stitches. So row 39, we are going to chain 12. So we have our 12 chains. So now we're going to be working, sorry, my yarn is caught, let me fix that. Got caught on my tripod, so you know, technical difficulties here. All right, so for row 39, we chained 12, we're going to work in our second bump from our chain. We're going to single crochet across our chain, and then we are going to continue to single crochet the rest of the row, and then of course you're going to work in pattern, working the half double crochet and 2 double crochet. And then row 40, you're going to single crochet across, but you're not going to work. So you're going to have 22 stitches for row 39. And then row 40, you're only going to work 21 stitches. So we are not working that last stitch for row 40. So I'm going to go do that. I'll meet you back at the end of row 40. Okay, so we finished up row 40, and now we're going to work row 41. So we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and we're going to skip that first single crochet, and we're going to single crochet in the next. And then we're going to continue to single crochet down, and then our last 3 stitches work in pattern of that half double crochet, 2 double crochet. So row 42, we're going to just chain 1, turn, single crochet across, but you're going to work 1 less stitch. You're going to have 19 stitches. So you're going to be repeating rows 41 and 42 up to row 48. So each time you work your single crochet row, which is your even row, you're going to have 1 less stitch. And when you work your odd row, you're going to skip that first stitch. So when you get to row 48, you will have 13 single crochet at the end of row 48. So I'm going to be repeating those rows. I will meet you back at the end of row 48. Okay, so we finished row 48. We have 13 single crochet. So now we are going to increase again for row 49. We're going to chain 2, and we're going to single crochet in that second bump from our hook. And we're going to, so back bump. When I say bump, it means the back bump. And then we're going to continue to single crochet across, and then work in those last 3 stitches, the half double crochet, and double crochet. So at the end of row 49 here, we are going to have 14 stitches for row 49. So there's my last 3 stitches, working that half double crochet and 2 double crochet. So we now have 14 stitches as soon as I finish this last stitch. So row 50, we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to single crochet across until we get to our second to our last stitch, and we're going to work 2 single crochet in that second to last stitch, and then we're going to single crochet. So then row 50, you're going to have 15 stitches. So rows 51 through 57, you're going to be repeating rows 49 and 50. So all of your odd rows, you're going to chain 2 and single crochet in that second chain from the hook and the back bump, single crochet across, work in pattern of the half double crochet, 2 double crochet. Then all of your even rows, you're going to single crochet across until your second to the last stitch, work those 2 single crochet in there, and then the single crochet. So at the end of row 57, you're going to have 22 stitches. Okay, so I finished row 57 here. I have 22 single crochet. So here is how we are looking so far. So we've got front and back, and we are almost done this section of the top, and then we'll just be a little bit of finishing involved. All right, so row 58, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. We are going to work 11 single crochet, and we're going to leave the rest of the stitches unworked. And then row 59, you are going to work in pattern. You're going to chain 1 and turn, single crochet across, and then those last 3 stitches work your half double crochet and 2 double crochet. So I will meet you back at the end of row 59. Okay, so I finished row 59. We have 3 rows left. So row 60, you're going to work 10 single crochet across. And then row 61, you're going to work in pattern, single crochet across, and then half double crochet, 2 double crochet. And then row 62, you're only going to work at 9 single crochet. So row 60, you're only going to work 10. You're going to leave that last stitch not worked, and then work in pattern for 61. And then row 62, you're going to work 9 single crochet. Then we'll be done stitching the top, and we're going to have to turn it into a top. So I'll meet you back at the end of row 62. So don't cut your yarn at the end of row 62. Okay, so I finished row 62. So this is the wrong side. I mean, both sides are basically the same, but we're just going to use this as the wrong side. All right, so what you're going to do is you want to fold your top so that the right sides are touching. So we're folding it. These are the right sides. We're going to chain 1. I feel like my yarn's all tangled up here. It's not that complicated. I'm making it more complicated. So we're going to chain 1. So now we're going to fold the top so that the right sides are touching. And so what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch across the ends of row 1 and row 62. So I've got my chain 1, and we are going to slip stitch. So here's the ends of row 1. So you just want to find that first stitch, insert your hook, and then that first stitch at the end, or at row 62, and we're going to slip stitch them together. And then once you're done slip stitching the ends of your row, then you can cut your yarn, and we'll just have a little bit of finishing to do, and then the top is all done. All right, so I slip stitched across, so now I'm going to cut my yarn. So I've got my scissors right here. Okay, now we're going to turn our top right side out, and we're going to just get ready to do a little finishing here, and then it will be all done. Okay, so now we're going to work around the armholes. So you can see I already did 1, and the thing with the armholes is we're just going to single crochet around, but stitch count doesn't really matter, but you want to keep track of how many you did on your first one, because you want to do that on the second one so that it's the same. So my first one, I did 36 single crochet around. So what I did is I just attached the yarn, because I'm going to use this as the front. So I wanted to attach, this is that seam that I stitched here. So I attached my yarn right behind that seam, and then I worked 36 single crochet around. So I am going to do that over here. I'm going to attach here, and I'm going to show you how I did the shoulders here. I did not sew it. So I'm going to attach right here. So that is the armhole, the bottom part. I'm taking my yarn. And attaching it. And then I'm going to chain 1. And I'm just going to single crochet in that first stitch. So that's stitch 1. I want to work 36 again, so I'm just working on the ends of my rows. So now I have 5 stitches. So see, you can see these are that chain 12. I'm just going to work in the ends of there. So I have 5 and then 6. So I'm going to continue single crocheting until I get to the top, and then I'll show you how we attach those shoulders without sewing, because I don't like to sew. I try to avoid it as much as I can, and it's less ends to weave in. Okay, so I stitched up to the top of that shoulder. So now I need to get the other side. There it is. And we're going to continue. So I just kind of want to anchor it. So what I did in the first one is, so right on the top there, I inserted my hook and that part, and now I'm going to go onto the top of this one and just finding that top there, just finding a loop. And I made that stitch very tight. Just kind of stabbing it in there. And then we're going to work that single crochet in there. And now I'm just going to continue on the other side of this armhole. And keeping track of my stitch count because I had 36 in that first one. So I'm going to keep going and I'll meet you back. Alright, so here's my other armhole I stitched around. Now I'm going to join with a slip stitch in that first stitch. And I'm going to cut my yarn. So we are almost done with our top. So now we're going to stitch around the V part here. So this is the back of my top. So I'm going to attach my yarn right in that center part of the V. So there we go. And I'm going to single crochet right in there. And I'm just going to continue to single crochet, working on the ends of these rows all the way around. And we're going to work 2 rounds of single crochet here. So I'm going to single crochet all the way up, then around the shoulder here into this first part of the V, and then up the second, and then back down. And I'm not going to join, I'm just going to jump right in and then just single crochet all the way around for round 2, and then I will join. So again, stitch count does not matter. You just want to make sure your stitches are nice and neat and evenly spaced for those rounds. So I am going to go do that and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I have finished stitching around for my second round here. Now we are going to join with a slip stitch in that first stitch, and we can cut our yarn. And our top is done, except for the ends. Of course, you have to weave in your ends, and maybe you need to give it a light block. And then we're all set. So that is the back. This is the front, and I think it's very, very cute. So you're probably wondering, how do we dress the doll? So we will go over that very quickly. All right, so here we go. Here is my doll, and I'll show you how we're going to dress it. So here's another top I made if you just want to see. This is true DK weight yarn. It was paint box DK weight. So that was my actual prototype that I made when I was first coming up with this pattern. And so let's see the comparison. So obviously the blue one is slightly smaller, but not a whole lot. It's still fine. But we're going to show you how we dress the doll. So you're going to take your doll, and you're going to take your top, and you're going to put the feet in through the neck hole. You're going to shimmy it up. Now she's an older, this is Josefina. She's an 18-inch doll, obviously, and she's an American Girl doll, and she's an older one, so her body size here is actually a little bit thicker than some of the newer ones. I feel like the newer ones are slightly slimmer. So she's a bigger girl here, just has a little more padding there. So what I like to do is I kind of like to just get it over her tushy a little bit, her behind, and then I take her arm. Now you'll probably feel like you're going to stretch this out. It's okay, it has a little give. If we're getting caught on an end I didn't weave in. And because her fingers are spread out, it likes to get caught on there, so just be mindful of that. And you take your other hand, and then you just gently slide up. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera there. And just make sure the back, I am bumping the camera, sorry, hopefully you're not getting dizzy. But there we go, the top is on. So it looks fine, it doesn't really look stretched out at all. And then you would just take it off the same way, just slide it down over the shoulders like that. So the nice thing is you don't have to worry about buttons or snaps or anything like that. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.